I have a school open house and have to leave at 6:45. So I guess we'll call our special meeting to order. Would we like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, or would you like to skip it? You want to do it? All right, let's do it, Wayne. Let's not be that football player. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll do the roll call. Braun. Dockett.
Here.
Ingstrom. Here. Westover. Otto. Here. Great. I'll make a motion to adopt the balance of the agenda. Ingstrom motioned and Braun supported. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. First call to the public, and there is no one in our audience right now. Thank you. Board member comments, anything?
Yes. It seems like we are having a lot of employees quitting or getting fired. Do we have a hostile work environment here at the township offices, or what's the problem? Does anybody know?
Well, I will say that Pam quit for personal reasons. There was no hostile environment. If you want to talk to me one-on-one about performance issues or the personal issues, I don't feel it's appropriate to discuss it in the public because of HIPAA rules and all kinds of other things. I just wouldn't discuss it. But there was no hostile environment at all. I mean, and if anything, it was the opposite, bending over backwards to accommodate. So.
Yeah, we had someone resign.
I mean,
There's been no
really
firings,
don't-
so
I
there was
really
no
don't
hostile
understand
environment.
What was that? What did you just say?
There's been no firings.
There's no hiring?
Firings.
Oh.
One person resigned. All right.
Well,
Any other board
I
member?
understand that there was someone fired, so that's why.
But I don't think, this is not to replace the deputy treasurer.
I want to explain something about the deputy treasurer. The deputy treasurer and deputy clerk are required by law. They are appointed. They are not hired. And once they are appointed, their job becomes the same as the statutory duties of the treasurer, all of them, unless they're delegated to someone else. The board decides the salary, if any, of deputies. Deputies vary for as many municipalities as they are. The job is that varied. It could be unpaid, it could be part-time, it could be someone who's just there in, you know, kind of as a shadow in case something happens. I have to have a deputy treasurer. There has to be someone by law in case something happens to me. So I have appointed Dawn as my deputy treasurer, and this person, everyone in the office has picked up the duties. There are statutory duties that need to be performed. I'm not going to appoint, there's no one who's going to be willing to be appointed a deputy treasurer full-time when the new board's coming in January. No one's going to quit their job and work for 8 hours a day for 3 months, knowing that they could be replaced at the end of that time by the new treasurer. Because it's totally up to the treasurer. It needs no board approval. If you read the regulations state, the MTA makes it pretty clear, you can even appoint a relative. Doesn't have to be someone who lives in the township, nothing like that. But the appointment is completely separate from the salary. This person is just to pick up the slack. We've got banking to do. We've got the tax bills coming up. That is just
We've got what coming up? Excuse me. We got
taxes.
Oh,
And we just need somebody to help pick up the slack. So the pros are that this person is not going to get benefits. They're not going to be a full-time employee. There's no pension involved here. It's actually less expensive than putting a full-time deputy treasurer in there and putting her back on full-time salary.
well, that's not what it says in the thing. It says they're going to get all them things in the paper I'm reading about this new hire.
No, they get nothing. They are not an employee.
That's not what it says on this paper. It says that they get full benefits.
from the company that she works for.
That's right, so that means we're gonna be paying that. We're gonna be paying 3 times more than we would pay just somebody that we hired off the street, in my opinion. But that can be for the,
Hey, do you mind if we
Well,
just
if we
jump
could
off board
find
member
someone off
comments
the
and get to our, and start, this discussion in the agenda items? Any
Yeah,
other further?
So the only thing I want anybody to understand that this is just to cover for staffing issues that we, or staffing needs that we have in the office. That's all it is.
All right, we're at board member comments right now. Any other board member comments?
yes. The reason I mentioned it is because I have this paper here from Lisa Bradford when she quit. And it says that this email will serve as my notice of resignation from employment at Northfield Township. And she went on to say that she was treated very badly. She was frightened and she quit. So I would say that was a problem. Thank you. I interviewed her. That's what she told me.
Who- Was Lisa Bradley the person who was in the position before Dawn? Is that who that is? Okay.
She worked in the township. No, she
Yeah.
wasn't in that position, no.
Yeah.
Pam,
Okay.
Pam was been that position.
No, I don't mean the deputy treasurer. I mean the front desk, where Dawn, where her full-time job is.
Oh, I
Is
don't
Lisa the one who was there for a short amount of time?
I'm not sure.
Okay. But she was there for a short amount of time. How long's Dawn been here now?
About a year.
Has Dawn complained of a hostile work environment?
I don't know. She's still working.
Yeah.
Right, that's my point.
Well, but there's a lot of them that's quit.
Okay. Can we finish up board member comments? And if you want to, we have an agenda item that we need to discuss, and it seems like many of your things are there. Any other board member comments at this time? Great. Any correspondence and announcements? I'll make them, going on to our agenda item. Number 1, the temporary office assistant from Trillia Staffing Service Agreement. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to know how much money it's costing us.
The person will be making $13 an hour from the township. The bill rate is just shy of $22 an hour from the staffing company. I have indicated to this individual that it is a temporary position. I have also had a brief conversation with Mrs. Lenore Zelnick, and she is in agreement that she will evaluate this person and will, if this person ends up doing a good job and it's somebody we ultimately want to keep, then we'll address that at that time. So she seems open to at least giving this individual a chance at proving herself. But I have indicated to Tabitha that this is a part-time position and that there's no guarantee for future employment. The dollar amount would be slightly less than we were paying the deputy treasurer, but as Mr. Dockett did indicate, we are offering $13 an hour. The bill rate is considerably more, and obviously in the service agreement, she is an employee with Trillium Staffing, and based on federal law, if she works a certain amount of time, then Trillium Staffing would have to pick up those benefits with respect to her employment. So that's where we're at.
Well, excuse me, Howard, if I may, if we're going to pay that, then it's going to have to be added in. I mean, when you say it's $22 for the company that's finding us the person, is that plus the $13? That's including the $13. So it's about $10 more. Is that we're going to be paying this company?
A little less than $10 more.
And why would Lenore have anything to do about it if she's not going to be the deputy? What would Lenore? Why would you talk to Lenore about it?
Because I think that that's just good.
Excuse me, can you talk into the mic, please?
because it's just good government transition. Just having
But
conversation.
she's not going to be the deputy secretary.
No, she's not going to be
Well,
the deputy.
that I don't see. It seems odd to me that you would talk to Lenore, who will be
Mr.
able.
Dockett, everything seems odd to you. No matter what I do, it seems
Well,
odd to you.
I'm just stating facts. You
so
say
am I.
she's not going to be the deputy, but yet you talk to the new treasurer that's coming in.
Because I wanted to make sure that everyone was in agreement to give this person a chance if she ended up
Well, she's
working.
not going to be working for her, is she?
Mr. Dockett, I've said what I've said. I was pretty clear.
Well, it don't make sense to me. I don't know why we don't just hire somebody rather than to go through all this. When I read this, it shows that we're going to be on the hook for quite a few things here. If she stays, it's extra money, 25%. It's a lot of money.
Okay, so the only question I have is that I see it is at 1.6 times the established pay rate. So if we're paying her 13, it's at 21.45, right?
That sounds right.
Okay,
I remembered it just shy of $22.
okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to authorize Township Manager Howard Fink to sign the contract with Trillium Staffing as presented. If the presented individual, Tabitha, is no longer available, we also give Manager Fink to choose whoever he feels who would be the right fit. Thank you. Engstrom motion and Braun supported. Those in favor?
Roll call
I
vote,
have
please.
one more question.
Yep.
It's the second one, this cash property release form?
Yeah.
What is that?
So staffing agencies do not take the employee is an employee of Trillium. They're not an employee of ours.
Okay,
So they do not take responsibility if the individual carries or deals in cash. So this person will be receiving funds at the counter. They'll be dealing with tax payments, and basically Trillium is saying this needs
they
to be.
won't bond her.
They won't accept the liability. That's correct.
Okay.
We do have appropriate liability in place.
And she's not making the deposit. She's not.
Right.
That's why, Dawn is there and as deputy treasurer. And just as a matter of note, even though I have appointed Dawn as deputy treasurer, because I have to have someone by law, she is not a signer on the bank accounts. We don't need to do that. If something happens to me, then you can take action to put her on the bank
Yeah.
accounts, because she is the deputy treasurer.
No, I just
We don't need to
thought
do
the
any
whole
of that
thing was
right
kind
now.
of odd, but just.
Is this person going to be driving a car or something I see in here where it says they can't be using any equipment according to that? Means she couldn't drive to the bank or.
She can drive to the bank.
No, not from what I'm reading in here.
I mean, we're not going to give her one of our cars to drive to the bank.
Excuse me?
We wouldn't give her one of our cars to drive to the. It's fine if she can't travel to the post office or not. That's something that can be dealt with in house.
It looks to me like we would have to have insurance. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I see in here where it says this is under employee safety and welfare. Our employees are not to operate motorized vehicles unless we previously notified. So if we're going to do that, I think that we should read the thing and know what we're doing here, which I don't think we do.
All right, we have a motion on the table, and Mr. Dockett has asked for a roll call vote. I'll start to my right. Otto?
I'm asking about the vehicle part too.
It said unless we're previously notified, so unless it was as part of her responsibilities, I think the whole thing is mute.
I took that to mean
Our cars.
one of our vehicles, not her
Right.
vehicle. We don't have a vehicle she'll be driving.
All right, roll call vote. Otto?
Yes.
Westover?
Yes.
Engstrom, yes. Dockett?
No.
Braun? Thank you. Motion passes. Second call to the public. Any speakers? All right, board member comment. Oh, we do have one? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. No one was here earlier. I didn't turn this on. It's not turning on.
We're on. Chuck Stoyer, 6 Mile Road. I missed the very opening of the meeting. I hope that somewhere there's an explanation as to what was important enough to call and go to the expense of a special meeting, where there is a regular meeting scheduled for next Tuesday. So we're meeting here tonight at 6:15 to save 5 days. I don't get it, and I've been asked the question by someone. You may just want to think about an explanation for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers? All right. Take us to board member comments.
Yeah, I'll ask the same question, being that we can't answer him. Why did we decide that we're going to pay our stenographer and our TV guy when we got another meeting on Tuesday? It's a waste of money.
Because we've been down in the office, an employee, and taxes are picking up, volume is picking up, and everybody has requested help sooner rather than later.
And we did try doing this meeting last week, but
Meeting last week. We tried to do this meeting yesterday, and I asked everyone in the office, and it seemed clear that if we could get the person on sooner was better.
In the minutes from last week, I asked about if we hired somebody. Nobody on the board that said nothing. So we knew at the last meeting that like a week or 10 days earlier, we did not have a deputy.
and
So-
Howard's been working on that and finally found the solution.
So we knew about it then, so I think it's a waste of money, and it's inconvenient for all of us.
All right, any other board member comments? Yep.
And this is just directed towards Kathy. I just appreciate that in regards to the deputy treasurer and the new appointment, that you made the announcement, and your comments are very appreciated.
All right, anyone else? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.